Welcome to Worthy Ones, the video series where I take all the newest issue 1s, sometimes issue 2s, or most highly anticipated comics and deem them worthy or not worthy. Guys, I'm Mike Spider Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. If you love me helping you make decisions of what comic books to buy, you came to the right place, so why don't you consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, if you guys want to become a member of my YouTube channel, as low as 99 cents a month can get you early access to videos. You can get monthly badges to let other people know how long you've been a member of Comic Book Corner 2.0, and you can also get cool little stickers and things like that when you put comments down in the comment section and during live stream, so it's much appreciated. So with that being said, guys, let's get started with this week's darker episode of Worthy Ones. Scourge of the Skull Digger. This is issue 1. Now, you guys have been seeing me promote this comic book for the past couple weeks as it's about to launch on Kickstarter, and I actually got a proof copy in the mail from Triumph Comics themselves asking me to review this book or talk about it on Worthy Ones because this book is going to launch on June 1st. There is a special referral link in my description box below, and when you use that link to back this project, guys, and get a physical tier of this, you will also get the Agents of Talon issue 1, which is their first Kickstarter that they worked on that kind of kicks Scourge off. So they're very much a character type of building company where you get to learn about the characters, and then you learn one set and then you go on to the next set. So this particular copy kind of takes place right after Agents of Talon issue 1, and you get to learn a general or soldier here by the name of Skull Digger, and we get to see him try to pick up the pieces after this war that has happened against the Agents of Talon. Again, if you want that particular book, use the link in my description box below and it'll get you a copy of this $10 value. And we learn about Skull Digger. We learn how much of a badass he is, how much of a trainer that he actually is, how he doesn't take any shit from anybody except his savior, his lord himself, who provides him this gift. And if he fails him on giving the delivering what he if he fails him delivering this gift to his savior, then they could replace him at any time. The art is really good in this comic book, and I just love seeing the character development. And that's what I think Triumph Comics does so well, is they go really deep into the character growth here. So that's why you're going to want to back this project, like I said, so you can get that Agents of Talon issue 1. Really good story here. I definitely say that this book is worthy. Now, at the end of the day, if you back this project this particular weekend, what you're going to get is a free mini print of Air Enforcer, who is another character that takes place in that Agent of Talon issue 1. So if you love good character growth, you're going to want to check out the Scourge of Skull Digger issue 1. Avengers Twilight. This is issue 6, 40 pages for the price of $5. Chip Zdarsky's the writer here. Daniel Acuna does the art. This is the conclusion to the story. It's all done. It's all wrapped up. But it does, I feel, leave it opened up for maybe Avengers Twilight Volume 2. Because there are characters at the end that are in this book that are led to believe that, hey, we can continue this thing. The artwork in this comic book is absolutely brilliant. You wind up getting introduced to the Hulk, and you see this quite lengthy battle between Thor and the Hulk in this comic. This is the secret weapon of the Red Skull, as this has been Red Skull's plan this entire time to take over the U.S. He's taken over Tony's son, trying to manipulate him like I would say an Emperor Palpatine, and at the end of the day, you see Tony's son kind of prevail and go to the light side, and we see our Avengers win. There's definitely some good character beats in this comic. Seeing the way Red Skull got destroyed at the end was awesome, and I just love seeing how the characters came together. So overall, this book is definitely worthy. If you've read the whole thing, read it again and see how you feel about it as a whole. But I gotta give this overall series an A. At first, I was a little bit hesitant, and then it just got better and better, and that's what you want. I would say that the best issue for me was issue 5, and issue 6 wraps everything up really nicely, and it's led to believe that maybe Tony Stark's son is going to be the next leader of the Avengers, and Kamala might be by his side. So great stuff. Like I said, I definitely recommend it. Universal Monsters, Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives, issue 2. This is a 28-page comic for the price of $5, written by Dan Waters and Ram V. The art is done by Matthew Roberts. The artwork is nice in this book. It's very creepy. It takes place like in a rainforest / jungle, as you get to see Kate trying to figure out this serial killer, and Kate was like the detective. She's dedicated her life to figure out where this serial killer actually is, and she actually winds up discovering him, but you don't actually really see him. He's like in the shadows. He's so mysterious, and the thing is you don't get to see a lot of the creature. They make him very mysterious as well in the comic, but there is a 2-page spread that's absolutely brilliant, and it does build the suspense in this comic, which I really liked. In this comic, though, you kind of can't tell, I would think, from what's real and what's not real, because there is this particular saying that Kate says that when the brain loses oxygen cells and begins to die, the condition is called an anoxic brain damage. So it causes you to like hallucinate, and you don't know what's real and what's, or when you're hallucinating, right? So I'm kind of led to believe, like, is everything that's going on in this comic book real, right? The also really cool thing in this comic is we get to see this guy who studies people that have been murdered in this rainforest because he knows this creature exists, and he wants to capture this creature to do studies on it and things like that. So a really good comic book. This one is worthy. I love this one. Actually way better than the first issue. So same thing, I'm going to give this one an A as well. My only thing is, I'm sure this is done on purpose. They don't want to oversaturate the monster, but I would like to see the monster a little bit more in this comic. But I am curious to see if this whole thing is a delusion or not. So really good book. I definitely recommend it. Black Panther Blood Hunt. This is issue 1. This is a 36-page comic for the price of $5. This one is written by Cheryl Lynn Eaton, and the art is done by Farid Karami? God, man, I'm so bad. The artwork is good, man. The characters look really nice. It's a dark comic book. I love the details, the shadowing, the inking that goes into the comic. Black Panther looks phenomenal. I love the battle scenes. There's a part here where he's actually fighting urges to take human blood. And I thought the way they drew his teeth and everything were really nice as well. Now, how does this whole book tie in? Well, if you read Blood Hunt, obviously you got to see T'Challa turn into a vampire. Blade made him into that, right? And now he sent him on a particular mission to retrieve a temple and to deliver the coordinates, I guess, to the Impossible City, and Blade take this over, okay? Now, I wasn't most excited for this comic book because, again, I'm not a huge Black Panther fan, but I wanted to see how this tied in. And I thought it tied in really nicely just because we've gotten to see him go back to Wakanda and fight the urge of being that vampire, of taking human blood. And he does run into Shuri, and he does do a little bit of a battle with her, and he tries to fight the urges. And so I appreciated that. So as a tie-in book for Blood Hunt, this book is worthy. I definitely say if you followed Blood Hunt and you want a little bit more solid of a tie-in story, this is pretty decent. I'm not a huge Black Panther fan, so I maybe missed some things that were going on here, right? So I'm going to give this one a B-. It was pretty good. I'll definitely continue it. I want to see the direction that it goes. I kind of wish they gave a little bit more of like, I don't know, like what Blade was doing in this comic book. He looked like he was a hologram, and he was very vague about the mission at hand, right? But still, that's just me griping a little bit about certain things. But definitely a book I think you should pick up if you're a Black Panther fan. Helverine, this is issue 1. This book is 36 pages for the price of $5. The writer here is Benjamin Percy, and the art is done by Julius. Oh my gosh. Julius Oda? The artwork looks pretty good. This is a very dark book. Like a lot of books that we're talking about are super dark right now. And if you read Benjamin Percy's run on Ghost Rider, you're going to understand what's going on. And if you didn't read Benjamin Percy's Ghost Rider, well, they do try to catch you up a little bit on what's going on who this Helverine character is. Now, it's not a mashup character, right? Logan actually was the host for this particular entity known as Bagra Ghul, okay? And it just comes across as it's like a Wolverine and Ghost Rider type of character, all right? So the book does introduce you to the character, what it was in the past, how it got into Wolverine's body and whatnot, and how it escaped, and then how it was captured again, and then it got re-released, and then we have something going on in the Pentagon where there's this dark forces that's happening beneath the Pentagon, and we get introduced to the all-new Hellfire Warriors. So they're like all these different types of, like, I don't know, Hellfire Warriors, I guess. They all have powers of, like, from the Hellfire, right? They're all like Ghost Riders. And it's kind of weird, you know? I didn't think this was the best issue, but I did find it entertaining, right? I was like, what the hell am I reading here? And based off of what happened in the last page of this book, this really is what makes the book worthy. And if you've read the Sabretooth War and you see the last page of this comic, you'll know what I'm talking about. And you're like, okay, how did this happen? Again, it's all connected, right? So I'm going to deem this book, I said it already, it's worthy. I'm going to give this book a C+. It was nothing where I was like, man, this is great. In all reality, it was really kind of cheesy, and I can honestly say it was a way to bring a particular character back. So, again, when you read it, you'll see what I'm talking about. I am so curious to hear what you guys thought of Helverine issue 1. Midnight Sun's Blood Hunt. This is issue 1. 36 pages for the price of $5. This book is written by Brian Hill, who also wrote the Blade series, currently writes the Black Panther series for Ultimate Universe, and the art is done by Jermaine Peralta. The artwork looks good. Now, if you guys read the most recent Blade series, this connects to that, okay? Because it takes place right after. And if you've also read or currently reading Ghost Rider Final Vengeance, that is also tied into that, as it explains what's going on with Johnny Blaze and how he does not have the spirit of vengeance, but he still has hellfire power within him, okay? So I think that was really cool how they explained it, and I like how it's all tied in to this, you know, Marvel supernatural universe stuff. Now, this book, has Tulip, who is Blade's ex-girlfriend, also works with him on missions and stuff. She realizes that Blade is currently affected. He's a vampire, and she needs these guys' help. Well, Danny Ketch is kind of like, I don't trust you. I don't really know who you are. So in order to trust you, we got some stuff that's going on. So before we help you, you got to help us. So they go out on this mission, and she does a mission with them, kind of introduces them to all the weapons they have and all this other kind of cool stuff. And I thought it was a really fun issue. We get to see some supernatural creatures. You get to see Danny Ketch as Ghost Rider. There was just a lot of fun elements in here. We also get to see another particular character in this book as well. So this book is worthy. So if you've been following all this like supernatural stuff that's going on in the Marvel Universe, this is going to get you even more excited. Now, if you haven't, I don't think you really need to read that to understand what's going on. I still think it's a good jumping on point for you. But this was my favorite Blood Hunt book of the week. So I'm also going to give this one an A. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below of Midnight Suns issue 1. So there you have it, webheads. There are the newest number 1s, and number 2 and number 6 in there that I read so far for this current comic book week. I want to know all those comments below on what you thought of these comics. And if you love more content, in fact, my newest comic book day haul, why don't you go ahead and click on that one. And guys, remember to support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but especially always read your comics so we can have great comic conversation. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you real soon.